We got a new video for It's Complicated. Sexual needs. Rules of modern dating. Understanding women is complicated. Let's see what this is all about. Sexual needs. We all got them, right? Of course we do.
Of course, yes.
All adults have sexual needs.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course, yes.
I'm gonna need it.
I'm gonna need it too.
Most definitely.
Every adult has sexual needs.
Humans and dolphins are the only ones that have sex for pleasure, so we do have sexual needs.
True.
Should lonely men be expected to satisfy their sexual needs watching porn?
Nah, go work out.
Because if they're not
Hey, yo. Go work out, boys. All right? Don't beat your meat. Beat the dumbbells at the gym. All right? I'll say she might go for that one date and dip out. That's what I'm thinking. I think she went for the free meal and is cutting out quick.
getting it, they should get it themselves.
They need to step their game up.
Why would men still crave sex when porn is free and available all over the internet?
Because it's not the same thing as having sex.
Because they're horn dogs.
Because it's human nature for them to want to have sex, the P and the V.
If we acknowledge that all adults have sexual needs, why do men have to pretend like they don't need sex in order to get it?
It's the way life been.
Because men have been stigmatized to always wanting sex over relationship and emotional needs, and women.
Romance is a game of convincing someone that you don't need them, so they feel like they need to come after you.
Why is it the minute he's thirsty, needy, or vulnerable, it's a turnoff for most women?
Because like they come off like clingy and they just try too much. Like just calm.
Nah, it's true though. Fellas, don't ever be thirsty for the punani, man. Don't ever.
Down.
I think that if a woman has her eye on the man, it doesn't matter.
Like, if I think a guy is hot, I will fuck him.
Because I feel a majority of women are going after the top 1 or 5%, and because those men already are established and women can basically go to them, any man that isn't them is deemed to be worthless or unworthy. So them trying to go after them, women see them as kind of like ilk.
How likely?
Yo, Spider-Man got gang. Yo, Spider-Man cooking. Yo, what?
Are women willing to have sex with only men out of pity?
Not.
Why not?
Because they have a bunch of other dudes coming after them who aren't, they're not feeling pity towards, I guess.
Because they don't want a lonely man. They want a man who has a life ahead of them and are going to go for their goals.
If sex is a need, why is it sold at a luxury price?
Because there's guys that'll pay for it.
Why are women typically spoiled beyond their needs while men are typically deprived of their basic needs?
Because that's just how it is. I feel like women just have the, hey, this is what I want, and guys get pleasure out of pleasuring their woman.
Because the girls are like a prized treasure. You have to pay and buy them a lot of shit in order to get what you want.
Hey, yo, why did he make it sound like that? He made it sound fucked up. I mean, it kind of is, though. Right? Jesus Christ. I don't think I've ever remembered, I don't think I've ever remembered relationships or this whole dynamic between men and women and hetero relationships and all of that being so transactional to the point of where we're at now. Everything seems so transactional. You know what I mean? It's like, do people actually just get together for the genuine person and just vibe off of that and do all that still? Or is it simply about who's got what, who's got something to offer? You know what I mean? If you look at the internet, you'd really believe that it was all transactional. Like, fuck it, just buy pussy at this point, right? I'm not saying you should, you know what I mean? But what I am saying is, like, it seems like more and more, all these conversations, it's one side wants something from the other, and it seems very transactional. I don't know about you, but like, that don't get me off. Like, the minute I'm feeling like I'm being hit as a lick for some transactional thing, I'm cool. That's not. It's very just weird to me.
Why are women typically spoiled beyond their needs while men are typically deprived of their basic needs?
That's a good question. Women's skin like super thin, so it's like they it's like they have less, like they need it, like they like, you know what I'm saying?
Why should men have any obligation to...
Yo, what was bro fucking saying, man? What was he saying? Jesus Christ. A whole lot of nothing. It was a word salad.
To fill women's emotional needs if women don't feel any obligation to fill men's physical needs?
We try to fill men's physical needs, but it's just, it gets boring at times. Like, if you're not giving us the same reciprocation of emotional, like, we need emotional support, and I will suck your dick, okay? But other than that, like, if you're not emotionally supporting me, you don't deserve to get your dick sucked.
We got to use that. That lady, that line was absolutely phenomenal. By the way, I just want to put it out there. I am a wonderful emotional support system. Feel free, and if you need some support in my DMs, I'm here for you.
I just don't know a woman that won't fulfill their man's needs, like physical needs. But I do know many men that won't fulfill women's emotional needs, so I guess I'm stuck.
What is the meaning of post-nut clarity?
This interview devolved so fast. Post-nut clarity. That moment when all the horniness floods out of your body. It's a beautiful, magical fucking moment when you can see all things.
Like when you have sex with an ugly guy, but you're just doing it to do it, and then after you're like, why did I do that?
Isn't a man more likely to be frustrated if he doesn't have that relief?
Yeah.
So why is porn and masturbation often frowned upon, including by other men?
Because you should be able to control your needs and not be able to masturbate and watch porn.
It's like an obsession. I don't know. I feel like if a guy is constantly watching porn, he's going to have high expectations of what a girl can do or what his wife can do, and he's not going to be satisfied, so he's always going to be looking for more.
She's actually cooking. Y'all, Shorty with the feathers is actually cooking. No, so here's the thing, right? And this is coming from someone like sex addict, right? I had a very bad relationship with porn for a lot of years, bro, because as men, this is why it's not good to, I'm not one of those people like, don't ever watch it. There's a lot of guys like, don't ever watch it, go in the gym. I'm more of like, just, you know what I mean? Like, try to limit it and go to the gym. That's my thing, right? Try to limit how much you take in from that. And even then, try not to even go into like the super crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Stay on the very vanilla stuff, because what she said is true. A lot of women ain't porn stars, bro. And if you come into the bedroom thinking like, oh, I'm about to do the move that I saw Mr. Marcus put on Sarah J, and I'm gonna do this and da. And she's gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, get up off me. You know what I mean? They're not on that same thing. So there's that aspect of it. Also, too, you end up desensitizing yourself, and you know, again, because you want to do all these crazy things you've watched, because you're watching threesome category, you're watching gangbang category, you're watching DP category, you just wilding out with all the crazy hardcore categories. And then you go in the room with the shorty you with, and she's very vanilla. She's laying her back, maybe a little bit doggy, very simple, nothing crazy. And you might not be fulfilled. So that's going to impede, your ability to, enjoy yourself. And a lot of guys actually can't even bust because of that, because they're watching too much porn. So don't get addicted to porn, y'all. All right, don't get addicted to porn. I'm trying to tell y'all, for someone that was no pun intended, balls deep in that shit, like, it's bad. You know what I mean? It took a lot of years to kind of like disconnect and be like, all right, you know what I mean?
All men should masturbate.
Why?
Because if you have a need, you should satisfy it and not go find it with someone else.
If you're just pulling up to the stream, welcome. Just get comfortable. And if you missed anything, guys, you can always come to my YouTube channel. The live streams are up here. If you miss any part of it, you want to run it back, come through DJ Live. I'd love to have you guys on the main streaming channel on my YouTube channel.
Unless you're single.
Don't you think all these guys watching porn would be having sex if they could?
I believe that's true, yeah. I believe guys who watch porn are just deprived of sex, and they don't have the option of girls who want to have sex with them.
100% true. There are so many men that are yearning for female companionship, female intimacy, and a lot of men don't get laid. More men, like more than half, like the vast majority of men are not getting sex on a regular. And I don't think a lot of women really understand that. A lot of men are fucking lonely. And that's why the sex economy is booming. Like OnlyFans is booming, because so many men are lonely and they don't get that even remotely regularly, that they resort to buying it, to paying a creator to give them custom videos to help them relieve themselves. And these guys get into these worlds. Now, this is where it's a very interesting thing. I'm all for people doing whatever they want to do. You want to do OF? Shit, bless up. Do what you got to do. But as a matter of like, for men's health, Men need to stop consuming porn and that shit because it's fucking them up even worse. You know what I mean? And women, look, to their credit, they're capitalizing off of lonely men. That's why a lot of women are gone to OF and sex work, and business is booming for them because it's all because of lonely fucking men. You know what I mean? So, ladies, my appeal to you is, listen, respectfully, just give up some more pussy, please. I mean, seriously, help men out, all right? Don't be so stingy with the pussy. Just give it up a little bit. Or even a little blowjob, maybe even a hand job. Help these guys out. God damn.
What is No Nut November?
It's a challenge for the boys to not nut for a month, which no one has ever succeeded at.
It's a really hard month to get through, but if you make it through, you're a whole new man.
Why are men told to control their urges while women go out and have a hoe phase?
I feel like society is kind of holding men back from what happened in the past. So now women are coming back and saying we should be able to do whatever we want and a man should do what he's supposed to do.
Men have hoe phases their whole lives.
I mean, do you think that your average man is going to have a hoe phase before he becomes successful?
No.
I hope so. I hope he has it before he meets me.
Men want a hoe phase. They just can't get any girls because they have no game or they're creepy.
Why are men shamed for not being able to get sex while also shamed for trying to get sex?
I guess, like, you know, the bros making fun you don't get sex, and, like, I don't know. That's really what it is.
If you get it, okay, hoorah, your homies are probably going to dab you up. But for you begging for it, you look like an Indian man on Facebook trying to get contact with me like, hey, beautiful, hey, beautiful, hey, beautiful, this and that. You look like a fucking hoe, and I'm going to think you have a bunch of STDs.
Why does our society shame simps and incels rather than see them as victims of addiction and loneliness?
I feel like we shame simps because girls nowadays want these tough guys that'll cheat on them, but the true simps that are giving their full hearts to these girls and treating them right just get bitched at for simping to them.
I think.
And by the way, fellas, if you are simping on a woman, specifically like shit, especially like a sex worker, you know, once you give them $1, they'll never see you in a way that they would ever give you the time of day, bro. You're at this point, you're just a fucking mark. You know what I mean? So again, wouldn't do it. Feather Girl is lit, but she probably dropped. She's dropping gems and she lit. She cooking for real. Justin, what's up, bro?
It would be fair enough to say that some of them could be victims, but there's also a point where it's if women don't have sex with you, then you probably started out in some form of creepy way or maybe just awkward. But
yeah.
Victims is strong.
Are people shamed when they're starved for food?
I feel yes, they are, but it's like not their fault. They don't have the money to get food, so I don't feel they should be shamed for it.
So why are they shamed when they're starved for sex?
It's a great question. I cannot answer you.
It's when they think that they're owed it that it becomes a problem, and that's when they get shamed.
Is it any wonder why men's mental health is in crisis?
100%, because the men just get treated like shit all the time, and the girls are just getting treated so well all the time, and they can't see that men need the same treatment.
Why do men shame women for having high body counts while also complaining how hard it is to get laid?
Because they're insecure. They're insecure.
What?
Do you think bad sex
Wait, what
is
she
better
say?
than
Oh,
laid?
run that back. Hold on.
Why do men shame women for having high body counts while also complaining how hard it is to get laid?
Because they're insecure. They're insecure.
Fuck out of here. First of all, women have and control the access to sex. So when they do it, it's no effort. Guys, we got to keep it a fucking buck here, man. Women have all the power in granting sex. And because they determine whether or not it's going to happen, otherwise we know if it's not their choice, we know what that is. And we never condone that. Let's be clear. That is never, ever, ever an option, fellas. Don't ever. But however, they still control it. So when they decide to do it and they get in it, it's not the same for men. Men have to work at it. Listen, I'm gonna have to talk about this more in the after hours stream. If we hit our goal today, we're going to after hours on kick.com. I'll talk about it probably in more detail. The things I had to do, and I was an outlier because I was already at 18 even before that in high school, I was already, making my way with girls in high school. But when I was 18 and I was around the world, like I had access to the shit because of status. You know what I mean? And for men, if you don't get that status and you young, you just don't get looked at by women. You don't got no bread. You don't got a career going for yourself. If you don't have a status, and if you don't already look good, right? Let's be clear. If you're not gifted with supreme height and these Chad looks and all that stuff, most women ain't gonna pay you time of day. So that's why it's not about being insecure, man. That kind of triggered me. It's not about insecurity. It's nothing for a woman to do it because they control it. You know what I mean? Are we all like tracking here? Like imagine if it was the other way around and men dictated whether or not we're gonna have sex. Women would be it'd be different for women. Like, oh my God, I can't. You know what I mean? Because nah, baby, I don't want to do nothing with you. No, you know what I mean? It'd be totally different. That's just how it is.
Do you think bad sex is better than masturbation?
Yes.
No.
What are your thoughts on masturbation before a big date or before men go out hunting for women? Do you think it will drain his sex drive or make him more chill and not so thirsty?
Depends on the dude and the antidepressants.
Hey, Coochie baby! Her name is Coochie. I love it.
Why is male sexuality so stigmatized while gay and female sexuality is celebrated?
It is.
Hold on. So Kristen said, so why do women get shamed for high body count? Kristen, women get shamed for high body count because for women, because you guys have the choice of doing it, because it's easy. Listen, let's keep it a buck. Any woman in here watching in chat right now, you all literally right now can send a text message to a dude and just say, come through and let's fuck. And they will do it. You don't have issues with that. For a man, for the majority of men, let's be clear, for the majority of men, they can't do that. They can't get on the phone and text a girl and be like, hey, come through and fuck. Because you know what she's going to be like? Ew, you fucking creep, blocked. It don't work that way, right? Because women control access to sex. When women do it a lot, that's why society looks at it like, nah, that ain't cool because it's easy for you to do, right? It didn't take effort. For a man to have a lot of sex, it speaks to his status. It's different. You know what I mean? Like for me, with my body count, I had the body count that I got because of my status and my career and what I did, who I became. If I was just a regular degler, right, dude, sex life would have been totally different. That's what it is. And a lot of women don't understand that concept. Like when it's easy for you to do it, it means the value is different. Like the valuation is different. So for men to get it, right? For a man to have more than 50 bodies, holy shit, you got to be like, either this guy looks like a stud, or he's got a lot of money, or he's very successful, or he's got good game, good riz. Like there's something about him that is opening the door for him to put all those bodies on the board, right? And it's not the same for a woman that has more than 50 because it's a simple phone call. It's a simple text. It's a simple DM. Come through. Literally, I dare any one of y'all ladies to just send a text to a guy. Just say, come through and give me some dick. See what he says. 9 times out of 10, they're like, all right, where you at? I'll be there in 20. Or it's, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's fundamentally different. And listen, Rican, it might be a double standard. I don't make the rules, but that is the logic. And I agree. It's true. It's true. You know what I'm saying? What up, Raj? I'm probably the oldest viewer. 40 years ago, this wasn't a problem. The 70s, I'm getting educated. Well, Roger, in the 70s, everybody just did cocaine and had sex altogether. So sex was more, I think sex might have been more free in that period. You know what I mean? Because you had the disco era, you had cocaine and all of that stuff. Very different. I know, I agree, unfortunately. Yeah.
Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
It's nice in today's political climate to spin men as predatory, and sexual shit is a really easy way to do that.
I think we have a very big agenda that's trying to kind of make men a little weaker, easier to control. And so promoting certain things aids in that.
Why are women
Spider-Man is cooking for real?
So welcoming of gay men, but when it comes to women talking about straight men, guys are dogs, creeps, and perverts?
Oh shit.
Because, you know, the gay men are like their gay best friends that they could talk to, have the slumber parties with, but they get mad at the actual men for wanting action.
I mean, it'd be the same reason I'm probably more open towards women when they come up to me at a bar, is because I'm not scared of their ulterior motives.
Can you think of any sexuality that's more shamed and profited off of than male heterosexuality?
Can I think of one? No.
Do you think that's a problem?
No.
Why not?
I mean, you don't hear about it, I guess.
You know, so the straight white man goes, he's pretty much like ruled the world forever, so.
Well, men are expected to hold up the world, you know, keep things together. And at the same time, the wants and needs of those men, nobody really cares about. But at the same time, if they start to ignore their job, the world falls apart and everybody shames them. So it's kind of a giant circle.
Can you think of any sexuality that's more shamed and profited off of than male heterosexuality?
Yeah, gay people.
Women, gay women.
I think just gay and people.
Well, I mean, how does that make money?
They have it in Target.
Why does our society cater to the minority at the expense of the majority?
Because I believe different companies are able to utilize that to get money and also get votes and whatnot. It's just easier to utilize that victim mentality, I feel, to get things.
I don't think that society is catering to the minority. I think that society is just finally just speaking up against the hate and discrimination that's been happening to the minority for centuries.
This bitch is extra woke, bro. Oh my God. Shut the fuck up! Please, thank you.
In the past, it hasn't been as well for the gays and the women to have like a nice life. So like it hasn't been, it's not really our fault. It's how the society was created back then. And now that it's better in today's day, it shouldn't be put on us men in today's society that it's our fault that it was bad back then.
That guy walking. All right. Well, there's the latest episode for It's Complicated with Sexual Needs. Very interesting kind of dynamic there. A lot of them overall had some good points, though. You know what I mean? Minus that one weirdo chick that was talking dumb. She was stupid.